Black Stars coach a friend say Utuado make us say was had in near Chilim or Borussia Dortmund. Ninya say GFA a Black Stars a Jumane man no. Man say on qualify Ghana Enco World Cup. Why we into make us say dear was had done any near Chilim or Dortmund. Now in Crabano Chilimu and Kapapai almost saying a contract at Timia Benewe and GFA in Indian Common now for a Black Stars no man no team name and for Enco a World Cup. Now Papa a friend say Utuado and so dinano. Nese or the same ababe tuja or chess and no creda say no contract on a Dortmund one a yabanewe no chilima contract on Dortmund one a dia cabes 3 years and so ma and no chess and a contract in the nyamba and we see ampu na kase a wuanesa into ono de ogoso and so a Dortmund this year or a juma momo on contract basis.
Now, man for Becca, now watch a chain na video be a chagu pan GhanaWeb ne de baya. You say you already be equated to a natchez or see already any super natchez and some kitocra says say ne camera standing in Kikau and a video nearby their viral year pan and on Ghana police service and so saw video ni muse to che and Ancaso one casa a bomb more dear a coachie you ray and no more about to just a Sunday array or a police sergeant or no a central regional police commander and natchez or no ne was is yano or matching or to na no sem assistant the crown ya channel at Sensayan or go so investigations I would do. Since I know Chema San Urano, a police name Mapa Archer to Kojina Bontin, a cocodis and Yambrasa Sebio, not just also to Tio and Ampo notice a your man for Asuma, Sister Babeto, and Ghana Police Service for Eda Babeto, so Monsasum, a Uran Musechi.
Ghana Football Association and Chene Beto say Black Stars qualify for a World Cup no there Ghana Football Association and a Mantini bi wo ha omusi akawa manone a ye wo mo manone na omomodin bono kon kan no na ome Ghana for no GFA ehwe ni musen kombe ba be se kan de ama Black Stars obra Ghana Eco World Cup no na niji sema eba ene se emranti na GFA ne hwe ni mu no ba ko ni abranti efe ne se Callum Hudson Odoi oni se akadema Chelsea na niji sema eba no and it's a brand na kwa kunya ne passport na they say there wagine Ghanaian passport abibia kire se Ghana ni de ono nso etimi enti sia de GF ne ehwe ni mu se nkomotwetwen bia be sa akoso bi ma enhyeda enye DP ni nyan se brand ne nyanya ne passport no na se bibia kire se Ghana ne de obetimi abo amana yi.
In Centrani Manase Azuri Awuni, no this in Fabia Babeto Jao Tremus, CCA dear, Ghana Mampini, Nadan Koku Fadro dear, why are very disappointed pie when you move. It's on one park and Caneno, and Sana Mampini, a Babe Ghana Mampini, a mature Kufado. So I know see pen and some out, just say, nay, campaign messages there, nay, any day year pan to know share him saying Kobai, Bibia Kaya Bia, or Ba, or Baby Bia, say Finchim and Afefe, and Sakaka and your kind, and you no cry back, who cried one ma, just a wager so at the aye. Then no cockatoo at the to any Facebook to Tintin or Chum with a CC under the I buy bonny penny, I buy with your sister Huna, Nashan so do no HS Bibia just any that so be I any hopelessness and Casa ye power Chum I buy with the inquiry. No, you're not the two Jana or Chum and I'm put it on the Facebook post so and I'll check the CC there, open or share Mampini, the interviews I would run up on the video and not any Bibia. Now you just say, would you make Jabin a open DD? Nasapas awards not say action Akunya, Akaso Besame Mampini, no, there new beer, not just a wood side, Panu need you made DBD, now a Facunya, Semikaku Kakuti Mampini, and so Cotiano Kana. Bibia one more Becca or Baye as or come ni fan or Kakoe Binkum, so Chema, or a very disappointed since I buy no in Kuyi cry.
As I conclude, we all know our District Assembly Common Fund is in arrears. This is a time for responsible leadership, for sincere leadership. His Excellency, the President, should walk the talk. He should lead by example. He should cut down expenditure. He should use the presidential jet. And when you want people to tighten their belts, you want workers to sacrifice, you want Ghanaians to come along, leadership must show that they themselves are willing to be responsible in all good faith to manage and protect the national purse in ways that everybody will see that indeed there's empathy, indeed there is care and concern about the difficulties that we find ourselves. I do hope, Mr. Speaker, that the President will reflect and will amend his ways in the national interest.
This country is likely, most likely to face load shedding in the next 2 years if urgent steps are not taken from this moment to increase our power generation. I say this on the basis of facts. For example, on the 15th of February, 2022, our peak power demand was 3,343 megawatts. On the 15th of February, just about a month and a half ago, that was the highest peak demand for power. On that day, our available power was 3,527 megawatts. We had a surplus of only 180 megawatts. Only 180 megawatts. So we were dangerously close to matching peak demand with total available supply. Remembering that the demand for power consumption, demand increases between 7% and 15% every year, year on year. And it takes a minimum of 3 years to bring on stream a new thermal plant. We seem to be sleepwalking into a situation of possible power outages as a result of supply limitations. I believe I have a responsibility to draw this country's attention to the danger we're facing. Fortunately, the Minister for Energy, when he took office, stated that there was the need for new generation. Most people did not take that statement he made seriously. But we are creeping towards the abyss. It behoves on some of us to draw the attention to policymakers that we need to increase power generation. We are limited by the propaganda that we have witnessed in the last couple of years of excess generation. And because of that, we are sleepwalking into the abyss. Ladies and gentlemen of the media, you can interrogate the issues yourselves, do a bit of research, but let me state that installed capacity is a different ball game from available capacity. A good example, let me use the Akosombo Dam. With an installed capacity of 1,020 megawatts, if we operate the Akosombo Dam on a continuous basis above 800 megawatts, the reservoir will be compromised.
Relates to a natural disaster which is unfolding as we speak. The tidal waves are back, and Mr. Speaker, our compatriots in the Keta, Ketu South, Anglong enclave, all the way to Ada, are grappling with another round of tidal waves that have dislodged them and have really affected their livelihoods. I do hope, Mr. Speaker, that we will find an emergency solution in the interim as we come together as a nation to put together a long-lasting solution. I think it is an indictment on us as leaders of this country that we have not addressed this matter once and for all. I note, Mr. Speaker, that His Excellency the President has still not commented on this recurring natural disaster. I observed that going through the message on the state of the nation, the President spent copious amount of time speaking to other tragedies which are important, like the Apiate disaster, but it is important for our leaders to be nationalistic and equitable, Mr. Speaker, in addressing these concerns that are dear to our people and that border on the preservation of life and the protection of property.
It's the month of March and we are repping Ghana as she celebrates her 65th independence from British colonial rule. And we at GhanaWeb have made it a point to, during this period, get you and bring you a series of beautifully written stories, features, and flashbacks about Ghana. Now, in this edition of the People and Places show here on GhanaWeb TV, we are focusing on the manufacturing and the production of some locally made artifacts that we enjoy eating from, drinking from, and cooking with. I'm talking about the earthenware bowl, which is usually referred to as the asanka or apotoiwa in the Akan language, ka in the Ga or Krobo language, and vegba in my native language, the Ewe language. We'll also be taking a look at how pots are made. We'll find answers to all of these when we return from this short break. We are at Kwewu. This is People and Places. My name is Wanda Mihigan. See you after the break. Welcome back from the break. Thank you for staying with us. This is still People and Places. Now we are at a place called Intuntumeja, and we are on the compound of Madame Janet Owusu Buama. She is our guest today. She is one of the people we'll be speaking to. She's a potter, and she does earthenware bowls and pots as well. So she's going to take us through the process from the start to the very end. Auntie Jane Machi. Nyamia dum na unswe. Me pacho ejume waye na enfia he ni.
Me na me shakora.
Sa to say be 6 years and 5 years and unkai.
Me kai te late me ya pa.
Na why ne pass ne on to o ma me o jifi o ma me ho ana say
say adwuma na me ma me ye. Nti me ma me ye no wo so ma ye ko fa we bra yisi. I'm so me na me so me dim ho ye.
Na o ma me start here na no.
Me ma me.
Okay. I see. 90 ayewa no. Ayewa nkwa na oye na so oye pots nso kan ho.
Oh, anyone dey you say in Ghana ni trap abeno. Ni ukuku o ha de she abena se. And also one day we be na ye. See the rubber and one day she dey see we no. Ye yae. And I say be a obey to say enkwan. We be muni ye. Obey enkwan no. And then they say ba bo abaso nti the one to say no so no. Ye yae.
Mwejae. Nti say ano aye limited. Na to say aye one enkwan na moye. Oh. Na pots in this way.
Pots in on NBC say dear.
Monye. Okay. Inti, what she essentially is saying is that they had other pottery materials they were making, but over time, with the introduction of aluminium wares and other things, they have stopped doing that because people don't purchase that anymore. So now they focus mostly on the earthenware bowls, and so she's going to take us through how they do it. Now, I want to know all start here, all they started from points being, what they done here, what they clay.
Any other than the children of one
Okay, now clay no a type being. Munye fi first of all.
Bupunum.
Oh, okay. Then see omoko side the bremo.
Se me ho ye den dia meti makotubi se me ho ye den so dia ne wonu memu bi etu na mato
na mo omo de dancer ne etu
ye de soso.
Okay. Nti mutu a e de befia den biom na moye from there no
wo be se ebi ne se gu han yakata so no
pa cho betimi bi so kakra mama hwe.
So senete.
Insi udi fi ho a say ya na ye anase mwa na ya mobobo.
Ye bobo no ho. Na wasura. Na ka abefa ba.
Ejuma eye den obeka say ejuma den nti woni ahoden awotimi nye
Kakaka mi bejai.
Nti wujai say ya ode hand over to hana.
Some of one bit me there one be ntimi so a.
Na just a business ni na o obi a oboa eye nyawo ye no ana wonkwa na wo ye. Oh wow. So this is a very skillful art. You need, I'm sure, years of experience to be able to do this. You saw her start very little from the mold, and then as she did it, she expanded it. So now it's actually looking like a medium-sized earthenware bowl. And what she's saying is that you would actually need the sunlight to get it dry after this process. And then when it's dried, then she picks it up from the wooden pallet, and then she does the under part of the earthenware bowl. So we are moving to the next stage. This is where it comes from, the molding stage. This is where they lay it. Okay, so technically what she's saying is from there, they put the molded bowls into this. This is like firewood, and so they set fire, and then they arrange it, and then it bakes under the fire. So when it bakes, then it gets this reddish color that we are seeing here. Then from here, they put it in sawdust, and then they cover it with the sawdust. There's fire in this sawdust. So this is when this reddish earthenware bowl is transformed into the black color we are seeing here. So they leave it in the sawdust for a while. When they think it's ready, then they take it out, and then they have the black. So they have two types, the reddish one and then the black one. But we are going to get into the designs, and then we'll talk more with Auntie Jane. So now we are at the residence of Auntie Jane, and she is already designing some of the earthenware bowls that she has already molded. These ones are relatively dry, so we are going to have the rest of the conversation about how it's designed. Auntie Jane, me pacho inti den na ya ode design no.
Ina mdigire wono.
Okay. So this is what she uses. The cola nut. These are what provide the lines inside the earthenware bowls. Auntie Jane is done with her second earthenware bowl for the day, and it looks just perfect. It has to be braced. At least now when you are using it, you can appreciate it more, the work that goes into the making of these beautiful earthenware bowls for us to prepare our local foods, sometimes enjoy our meals in. So we'll move to the pottery, where we meet people who tell us how to make the pots. Come along. We moved from Intuntum Eja at Kwewu Empire, so Auntie Jane's place, if you remember, where we learned all about how to make the earthenware bowls. And then we saw some visuals of the locally made pots. Now we are at the factory I would like to call it a factory, of Emmanuel Osei. He is a local manufacturer of ceramics. He does jars, bowls, plates, anything ceramics you can think about, but they are done right from the clay here in the eastern region. So he's going to take us through the entire process. He's going to tell us how they refine the clay and they mold it to become the finished product. Inti nyawayam say no. Obe chayam anayedin.
Yeah, yam ya ne de nyon de president.
Okay.
You do free one man de aba machine.
Na machine we no o se edin.
The friend pagma no na yam clay no ma de ne de mere ni nya.
And mix it. Okay.
Me clay no. Pe, so de be odi
see where one texture. Okay. And to say if he hana.
I feel mode. Okay. Throwing.
Your friend day?
Throwing.
Throwing. Okay.
When they quiet portion.
And the first one near sieving.
Sieving.
We are sieving. Why mixing? We are mixing now. Now why throwing? Okay. Inti yankoshe ni true ni about it. Porters. Okay. Okay. He makes it look so easy, but I'm not sure I can do this. With the potter's wheel, Mr. Osei has just created 3 artifacts: a bowl, a cup, and a vase, a flower vase. So, like he said, it takes a lot of experience, and you can learn this if you want to, but you would have to put in some commitments to be able to do that. It's very impressive. And it's a umodi VSA. Then be now be.
Umodi VSA. When you be trap footprint, baby, it's on. So the court a room and a dry cacra. That year, the supporters will also.
What's on the Ababa? Okay.
When you ever dress a self footprint.
Okay.
Maybe this one.
We'll just hold it there and take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go to the people who buy some of these products and find out from them how business is. Stay with us. . 'Cause 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 '
We table issues relating to the arts and entertainment for a riveting discussion, of course, without fear nor favor.
The question the presenter asked them was a dumb question. You need to speak the fact and move.
Varied views. We agree to disagree.
So I would disagree with everything you said. I think that he's a smart guy. I think what he did.
No, but I also said he's a smart guy.
Yeah.
I guess that I'm waiting for the what next.
Yeah, I don't think that we have to wait for what next.
It sometimes gets confrontational, but that's the beauty of the game.
Today deny funny face. It's not my brother. Deny funny face. I don't know him. You don't know funny face. It's not my brother. You don't know funny face.
It's a package. We meet, we sit, we dialogue, we learn, we progress. My name is Benefo Huabin Abrantepa, a proud blogger, and this is my forum.
Now, let's learn something interesting about Ghana.
Ghana has the largest number of forts and castles in the whole of Africa. 32 forts and castles are dotted across the country's coastal areas.
We've gone through the whole process of the pottery, finding out how we prepare or how we mold our earthenware bowls and pots. Now we are going to look at the business side of the entire thing. People who buy, how much do they sell it for? How much do they profit? How profitable is this business? And which kind of people usually come and buy? For what purposes? We are starting with our first client who bought from Auntie Jane, and her name is Auntie Sewa. So we are engaging her, matching. Yeah, Mpacho it's saying, Apume, Yedanyamiasi. Now, Mepacho, are you one? Here, Naya Auto. Okay. Now, a ya would tone the same. I mean, over 12 or tone the same. They almost send the same amount. Okay.
Size nearby when they are never near back. The size nearby when you are 1 year and size is basing and
okay. A business on a business. Into way saying no, 9 10 no. Saying. But usually I will be taught or any say what on is saying 6 CDs for the 10. Wow. For 10 nina. Okay, what on the say Okoduma. We back to say what on the say. Oh, okay. A honor Uswawa there. Okay. Okay, what? Wow.
It depended for sunny we are. It will be sunny and the apple. It depends. We could drive there. I am. No, don't say. Metoni say and I say Metoni say.
Now, Cassa, a bit bubba, bear him like to say, not to say, a bubba now.
The mouse says, but the other really fair come and pay 8 cities.
Okay.
This is how they get 10.
Okay. Not as a back home, 9 CDs, but the whole thing, 6 CDs. Back who say no time out 6 CDs and not 10 in 6 CDs.
Back who say, I know better time I'm 6 CDs.
Oh, okay.
In I bear 60
CDs. Okay. It's a walk now the lorry fair or profit at so not just a 10 CDs. It's all day. Profit is to Suri now to 100 CDs. Okay. Okay. Not just a when you're 40 CDs.
20 because still already fair.
Where you 20 CDs if not just our profits in any 20 CDs. Okay. And see, I'm fine say within now what should be a day Obaha how many times ever far?
Or no, so why you say, I meant and no better for.
Okay. Now, quite for top. It's a day or Tom to say, be
oh, when you say no, so quite
Nasa. Wow. Okay. You. So that's Auntie Siwa's side. We are wrapping up the conversation, and now we are at the Nkoko Junction. Here you find a lot of women traders who trade in these artifacts. They sell the earthenware bowls and then they sell the pots as well. I have Sister Atta here with me. She's going to tell me a little bit about her business, which kind of people buy from her and what they come and buy from her for. Sister Atta, Michelle, let's say, okay, businessy. What start to say? What ton are you one pots? If you are 15. Okay. One I was starting and I say, oh my man, oh, okay. That was 15 years ago. I see. It was starting here, net to say. I see. It's a no to make us a business a cost. Into then the money and a then the money. Okay, say a year or what? Are they a year bar? Okay. I'm buy a name. That's a year for near my I see. Not to say ye bank or for bar, ho bar, no more better at the co. Okay. Me who say, oh, a potoyano, and as a sancano. Oh, clay, the any baby, saying black, dear no. Dainty. Never in a why you are. Black one in a why you are. Okay. Now, into way clay, dear no. Why money? Oh, into coffee ho. Into I don't know what on a crabina, where and what on a baby. In coffin tanto. Oh, okay. But I mean, if you baby or more, you know, now a honum no or more, once or turn the same thing. And I see you are a 25 you are with the justice. You are 7. Otofi ho 5 CDs are. Yes, 5. Yes, not with me could be 30 CDs. 25 CDs. And the sizes. The name of Tono, I'm like a cat. Now, why was that? I mean, as I say, a whole night, I'll move for a year. No, be better, you and I, I'm a day. Why are the world from the cocoa? I'm a toy you up one day. Cocoa, I'm a toy you up. Be as you are. But I mean, say, or more chrome, Hano, or more time, or day, or a be a chop bar, and answer more the young or young movie. Okay. My young cousin for pots no hokaka. Pots in chili a day. Cuckoo. Ha. Meaning say, no. Na ye de insio egu pots enum. Is this still a thing? A idea e wo ho sisia. E won so de any wo adu adu. Nti na wo ton e ne we hi. We ne no modu. Ene wo ne ye mu kwan. Ene wo ne no mu nsu. I see. Na difference ne we hi. Ne ye mu kwan ne de kwansen na no ntu. And then while it's a 13. Okay. By doing it, a moon while by no day. It's so. And I near the new means you say. And yet, and not I see. See, be a few coffee no be paid to work. Or the cab, or the saving on your mouth. Okay. But okay, say, what they no more they need you, a drove answer. A good year, so go hard, was the dear Mrs. Yenny, and the other to into Copota, or topa. Now, the boys are Pabacla, now to plan it. Now, I didn't know what you say, Oberton, nya omo need room na enye nya omo no misio wo ma na se nya omo need ane wo nkofo pe we more sing
you know mon kwanzo e bisa so me to ne nkoshe lebo I know they say cry na man for bisa so ne boy the koshe because they be say the one is 40 35
okay na che say mbo business be bring na ya won tamfa na we ni efe ne say apoli ha no na unya waiwa na nya omoko na wo de chi ha na we nso unya fini
we omo di free pro de price inchi na loya way edinima omo di free oba na de brand ya to
okay na inchi we say no and also what sizes
it is to change obo ha new bia na packet go packet
but tapolino any asanka size na kwa na ultimi to bia ti ultimi to kese e de twi ketwe mu
and any size bia
okay
ayu bia
okay yo yeah that's it. So that's Sister Ta telling us about the business. She showed us the different things she has here, the kind of people who usually buy, why they buy, and so now we have a fair idea about the sale of her products here. These are locally made. We were at the various points where they make them earlier, and we saw the processes they go through. So this is where we wrap up our conversation. We have Kwewu, Iowa, and then we have the Sunyani made Iowa, and then we have our pots that people will usually use to cook medicine. So that's it from us here, just to demonstrate. If you have your Iowa, you get your pepper, you can have your kontomire. If you want to do abum, if you want to eat fufu in this, you can just get any kind of local delicacy. And the asanka just gives it some form of spice, you know. And so you can get one for yourself and then enjoy your meal in it. For myself and the People and Places team, we are grateful you could make time with us on this edition of the show. From Kwewu in Koko, my name is Wanda Amihagan. See you in the next edition.
Chatawale, or all those artists, Sarkodie, Stoneboy, and even those who have one huge hit, like Kelvin Boy was Down Flat. So I'm not criticizing anything, I'm just wondering, how come are they not billionaires through just royalties, not concerts, not selling, just royalties?
Do you think we are promoting our African made in Ghana goods well enough?
Not enough. I think you're shy. I once treated myself with a handbag that I had saved money for years before I could actually buy it from Louis Vuitton. I can't afford the top luxury. No, I can't, absolutely. No. Like this.
You cannot be a leader and not have followers. It's not possible. You're not going for a walk. You need to have followers. Likewise, can you not be an irrepressible follower and expect to be a revered leader one day? You know, if you desecrate this too, you cannot be a chief. And if you don't know how to serve, you cannot be served. And so those who are following today, please try as much as possible not to be irrepressible. If you are, you've lost the way. One can disagree. That is normal, it's natural. And that in the contemporary times in which we are, you know the problem we have. Money and patronage. These have become principal factors in the number of followers that a leader can have. But I dare say that altruistic leaders with conscience know that real followers are those that have a buy-in to the vision and agenda of their leaders. A buy-in into the vision and agenda of your leader. Not just what you get from your leader. Those are the real followers. And I can assure you that in my application of the stick and the carrot, I reward those who buy into the agenda. Not those who come asking every day for something to go home, you know? And they get more than those who come demanding from you. So don't allow money and political patronage. And that's one of the things we intend to fight within these 2.5 years. Money and political patronage. So that by the time we get to 2025, we have a different ball game. Parliament today, the government party always have a lot of the members bought by the executive through patronage. They are made chairs of boards, members of boards, chief executives of some institutions, and they are members of parliament. You know? So how can you come and criticize the same thing that you are involved in? That is patronage, political patronage. And we are going to look critically into our constitutional provisions to make sure that we don't allow this to continue. It's not part of the concept that we have in the 1992 Constitution. And it's clear in the 1992 Constitution that for you to hold an office of profit, you need a certification from the Speaker. But who are the speakers? When usually the presidents brief over their shoulders, and when they have a mob of a large number of majority, you know, pushing them behind to do what they think that is right for them to do. I am not under pressure, and I can sail my own boat, and I intend to do that. Before anybody is given that appointment, the Speaker must give a certificate. It's not just for the President to just sit and dictate and co-opt everybody and leave Parliament with only the minority to rather be critical of government actions and inactions. That is not helpful to our democracy, and we have to crack the whip on this matter.
Wabra na say Abranche friend say Kevin Prince Boateng esi akai de ma Black Stars no ade abagana ha no odiye pa na say man no munsini form kra de bia na ye gene baba na ye gene yoyo na say nipa kokko a wabefra yemu enye fedi agro kra na ne ho ofe entina man de no ensini form ne se sia no Ghana man e kame so manya foforo na foforo manya ni nyina Daniel Kufichire ama esi ade Kufichire de oboni din ya na say nkofo eye wu ani Abrante ni hu twa aha se blade no ne hu twa ye pa ama esi ade Ghana man e Ghana fo dodo na nsini form ball no so nimbo obegine ma osi akan ma bibia konkan enso de ma Ghana esi ade why Abrante a esi no waba be replace Abrante friend say Kevin Prince Boateng obi a gege no so say ball no di onimbo na ho san eyefe enso Black Stars team ni mu.
It's another exciting edition of Talkatainment. As usual, I am your host, Elsie. Our guest for today is a diplomat. She loves everything Ghanaian, everything music, everything culture, everything arts. Yes, don't forget, her job here in Ghana is also to promote French culture among citizens. And that is exactly what we are about to find out, as well as more and more and more in the world of entertainment. I'll introduce my guest to you shortly after this break. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that quick break. Like I said earlier, we have here a diplomat who I usually describe her as someone for the people. She's liberal, she's down to earth. That's how I describe her. So, Her Excellency Anne-Sophie is here with us.
Thank you. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you for having us at your beautiful residence.
Thank you. Welcome. Aquala.
Oh! And what else do you know in Ghanaian language aside Aquaba?
Mania J, Semewo, and GhanaWeb.
Okay, that's a nice try. That's a nice.
For having me.
That's Chi.
That's Chi.
Aside Chi, which other language?
Oh, I'm already struggling with Tree. But sometimes I try, because, you know, I've come to realize that you come to Ghana, so people tell you, you know, one of the main languages is Tree, so you try and learn Tree. And then you go to Jamestown. It's not very far from here, right? And then people speak Ga.
Yeah.
So you go to Ho or the Volta region.
Yeah.
People speak Ewe. And then you go up in the north and people speak Hausa.
Yeah, Dagbani.
And you go, really? How can they actually communicate?
So many languages.
So many languages. It's so I'm trying to learn a bit of Tree. But yeah, it would take me probably another 20 years posting to manage to just sort of butcher other Ghanaian languages.
Let's come to music. What were some of the sounds or Ghanaian music you heard even before coming here to Ghana?
Let me be very honest. France has very, very close links to Francophone Africa.
Yeah.
So the musicians that we know in France usually are from Francophone Africa. So we know this kind of music, which is exotic and some rhythms, reggae and this kind of stuff. But the language is French. So it's easy for us to relate. And Ghanaian music is very diverse. I mean, it's not just high life, it's hip hop, high life, dance hall, reggae. You guys can do absolutely everything. Afrobeat. And it's probably because of historical links. The bridge goes to the UK and the US, but really passes above France. So and when I arrived here, I discovered this music, and I thought it was American. I thought it was American artists because the quality of the music, the quality of arrangement, the quality of the sounds was so professional. When you don't really pay attention to the language that is spoken, I thought it was American. And even when you listen to American rappers, they've got their own language, so eventually you're not even sure it's English. I thought it was American music. So then I got to adapt and meet with some artists, and I was like, but you are actually Ghanaian. I mean, what you produce, you mean you didn't record in America, it's actually Ghanaian.
Yeah.
And I got to, I did my homework going through the several amazing artists that you have in Ghana, and I'm just blown away by the quality of what they do. And the UK, US have spotted them immediately. Some, quite a few artists are doing collabs in the UK, US, and then they're shutting down some huge
arenas.
In the arenas. It's just very impressive. So I thought, hey, this quality of music this professionalism, this creativity, and the youth sometimes of those artists, that tells some things about Ghana. And this somehow is a brand ambassador for Ghana. And I've got to work on that, to put Ghana on the map for France, and also use some French artists to be more known in Ghana, because you don't know many French artists, do you? And sometimes the one you will quote are actually Belgian, which is great. We like to call them French, but they're Belgian. And they sing in French. But so it's reciprocal. You don't know really French music that well. Some of it sometimes, or some songs, or some artists you don't really know, like David Guetta. Not many people know he's actually completely French.
Yeah.
They think so. You see, when you reach a certain level of quality, you are labeled American.
Yes.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
Even if you are completely French or completely Ghanaian. So I think it's important to use that, this quality production of music, songs, sounds, the professionalism, to show and say something about Ghana and share, because that is something that speaks people's hearts. So back to the language you speak fluently, the hearts of people's language. Then music is certainly one language that we can speak to each other.
Exactly. So, like, what artists would you look at if there's an opportunity to kind of like have a collaboration with French artists?
Oh, we've done that already. Oh, we have. We have brought 6 artists of Ghana to France to do collabs with French artists.
Who are those?
So I think it began with Kwabna.
Okay.
Who's done like 3 or 4 songs
already.
Oh
wow.
Then Gasmila, Fameye, Becca.
Wow.
Stoneboy.
Okay.
And Sarkodie.
Okay.
So it could have been many others, and actually Aquaboa just did one with the same French artist as well, no later than yesterday. But those 6 had done that during the summer last year. And so to present what they had done, we had a concert, Paris and Accra in December here, and we'll have a return leg for some of them in Paris in April.
Oh, wow.
So yes, of course.
That's great.
And I hope that they will seize the opportunity when they are in France, and when they went to France to record with Passy and Orty, they also met with other French artists, and they took the opportunity to show what they were doing on French radio, and to catch attention of French artists who will want to do collabs. So more French artists do more collaborations with more Ghanaian artists. But for some bizarre reasons, in the past year, many French artists have gone to France. Ghanaian artists have come to France to visit and make connections. And I know King Promise is going to perform in Paris on the 30th of April. And there's now the Ghana Music Awards that happened in Toulouse. So that is putting Ghanaian artists in France. So I just sort of opened the way a bit. And then they're very professional. They know that the moment you just open the door like this, they will just
take advantage.
Take advantage and make lots of connections. And French artists certainly have interest in Ghanaian artists. I tried to contact Metro Gibbs, who's not really French actually, but he sings in French. We like to think of him as French, but he's Congolese. We contacted him to offer him to do collabs, and he said, but I really want to come and perform in Ghana. And we have this amazing Ghanaian-born artist called Cephas, who was adopted by French parents at the age of 8, who has done his life in France. He's now 20-something, and he is a star in France, sings in French, and he even was a finalist to represent France at the Eurovision song contest. So I know that very shortly he will come back to Ghana, back to the roots. He has not been back to Ghana ever since he was adopted. He's from Navrongo. So you see, we're certainly opening like a big channel between France and Ghana in the area of music, because that's a language we both love, understand, and I'm sure there's a lot to be done in that respect. Plus, if our French artists sing in French, that brings a bit of the French language here.
Yeah. So, with that being said, what's the difference, like the main difference between the Ghanaian music industry and the French music industry?
Well, it's very different in terms of sound, of course. We also have rappers, but the rap is different. French rap is different. We don't have so much high life and the rhythms. We have much more variety and radio commercial kind of things, but we've also got quite a diverse production. But in terms of industry, if we go beyond the actual production, this is an industry that is very strongly supported by the French government, not being funded by the government, but there is a legal frame that really helps the French artists to thrive. Every little community, we don't really have villages, but small town, has a community center where people can learn how to sing, practice music. We have music academies everywhere. So if you have just a bit of a hint of a talent, you get a chance to practice and see where it goes. Then you have access to studios to record your first record. Then you have some contests. Then you have many opportunities to try and show what you can do. And then if you really are good and someone notices you, then you can record a record. We are protecting French music in a way that radios and TVs have a compulsory percentage of French productions, of Francophone productions to display. So you can display as much music in your program on the radio as much as you want, provided you have 30% of Francophone music. That is to help the French music and the Francophone music to have a platform, but also to ensure that this traditional kind of language singing in French is not getting lost under the huge wave of American music that is of course easier, more international. With
what you have said, I think it means French in terms of advantages, they have got a lot of advantages as compared to the Ghanaian entertainment industry.
Yeah, but it didn't work. It didn't come overnight. You see, they had some artist unions who have advocated for that. Then we also have a very strong royalty institution that collects the money from everyone who displays music and pays the artists. And this is called SSM. It's the equivalent of GAMRO, but it's hugely efficient.
Speaking of GAMRO, what's your view on all that has happened so far? I'm sure you might have heard artists.
Yeah, people are. Yeah, I've heard about that.
Yeah.
You see, I haven't dug into this thing. I can only observe that if you take someone like Chatawale or all those artists, Sarkodie, Stonebwoy, and even those who have one huge hit, like Kelvin Boy was Down Flat, or I know I'm not listing them all, so I will have to apologize.
You've heard Down Flat. Oh,
of course, I'm trying to.
She's modern.
I'm trying to learn the choreography.
Yeah. We'll do that. Don't worry.
Yeah, no, we will. I haven't rehearsed yet. So such a big hit. You see, if you register that song at the SSM and it is displayed in Europe, he will just have to sit there and wait for royalties to fall.
Yeah.
When you see the number of views on YouTube, the number of downloads on all the platforms, streams and everything, all of them should be billionaires.
Yeah.
So I'm not criticizing anything. I'm just wondering, how come are they not billionaires through just royalties, not concerts, not selling, just royalties, considering the magnitude of what they are doing, of the success that they are putting out there. So there surely is something that could be adjusted and bettered and probably strengthened so that they actually can live from their art. And the way the French system works, of course, some singers with only one hit in their entire career still live on the royalties, and their children live on the royalties. So it's true that it's cash machine for people who do real big hits or whose albums are golden records. True, but even for small artists, if they produce one music, you know, if there are composers for one big artist, every time it is displayed, every time it is replayed, every time it is adapted, there's something back for them. So it enables a lot of people to live, and not only the big arts whose face you have on the billboards, but also all the musicians behind, the composers, the people who do the arrangements, the people who write the lyrics, if they are not the same. So in France, this industry is helping many, many people to live, because you can only be an author and just write lyrics and still live on this.
Yeah, let's take a quick break here. I know this is getting more interesting, but when we come back, we have more for you. You are watching Talkatainment here on GhanaWeb TV.
From the dawn of time, people have engaged in several businesses. With the onset of technology and innovation, life has relatively been made easier. By using debit or credit cards,
mobile banking.
Thank you. And your favorite, mobile money?
Tech has indeed married business. On BizTech, we spend time with faces behind known and upcoming businesses in the country.
Learn more about the new technologies and innovation,
as well as find out about the trending issues in the world of business.
Join us as we serve you with a variety of compelling interviews, projects, and others right here on GhanaWeb TV.
Welcome back from the break. If you just joined us, you are watching Talkatainment on GhanaWeb TV, and I'm here with the very beautiful Her Excellency Annie Sophie.
Yeah, people, AKA Akosia.
But who gave you Akosia?
Some, you know, in Ghana, one of the first things people ask you is what day were you born?
Yeah.
So I said Sunday. So people say, okay, so you're Akosia.
Oh, okay.
So if I was Fanti, it would be Essie.
You know all that.
3 years and a half.
Oh
I've done a bit of my homework.
And if you're an Elway, what would it be?
I don't know really. Tell me. Is there a names day as well for the Airways?
I think it's the same, but we say Akosia.
Akosia.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't say Akosia, but the Airways say Akosia.
I don't really hear the difference.
Yeah.
Akosia. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Akosia.
Yeah, so Akosia. So what are your experiences so far? What memorable Ghanaian culture gestures have you received so far during your stay here?
Well, I wanted from the very beginning when I arrived to go to as many places as possible, to have a broader vision of Ghana. So I went to the Volta region, where there is a village called Fume. Fume, near Vane.
Vane.
You probably know that in this area there's a large family whose name is Ave, which is also my last name. So I was quite curious to go and see and meet these people who have the same name as mine and see if we could have any connections. And we're still digging to try and find if we do, but it was quite interesting because I've always wondered where my name came from, right? Ave means the bird in Spanish, but I'm not sure it comes from there. It means hi, hello, Ave Maria.
Yeah.
And then now I also know that means forest in Ewe.
Yeah.
So I can have a multi...
Ave?
Ave. Could be a multi origin, I don't know. So when I went to the Volta region, in this village, it was Easter ceremonies. And I had this very, very emotional moment when they played the French national anthem on the middle of the mountains. And that was so emotional. You don't expect that. Can you imagine? You're in a foreign country, in the surroundings that you completely discover, that is completely new to you, and people in your honor play the Ghanaian anthem. That is wow.
You feel a sense of welcoming.
It's more than that.
Yeah.
It's just absolutely, it's just undescribable. And that was my very first amazing encounter with Ghanaian culture. So they had a display of dances, traditional dances, and so I thought, wow. And I realized that all the dances meant something. It was actually telling a story.
So moving away from that, I see a touch of Ghana in in your article of clothing? Most of it. How do you select these outfits?
Oh, well, do you know, that tells a lot about the French fashion. People tend to think that the French elegance that we like to display is about French designers. But truth is that the way we French like to dress is a pick and mix of many international designers. So if you go to France, to the Champs-Élysées, to the Rue du Faubourg Saint-Honoré, to those streets where you have many, many shops of luxury fashion, but also if you go to shops that have more medium accessible fashion, the ones I go to be honest.
Are you sure those are the ones you go to?
Absolutely, absolutely. I can't afford the
Louis
luxury.
Vuitton.
No, I can't. Absolutely, no. And honestly, I'm just checking. No, I can't.
Oh, but that's where Ghanaian celebrities shop.
Yeah,
most of them.
When they can afford it, why not? I mean, and I'm glad because it's French, so thank God some people can actually buy from them. But I can't afford it. So, but I love it. I think I once treated myself with a handbag that I had saved money for years before I could actually buy it.
From which store? Which of the stores?
From Louis Vuitton. So I'm very happy I've got one handbag or maybe two out of them. But you see, on a daily basis, you're gonna dress in Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
And so the French elegance and the French way of dressing is about picking and mixing things from different designers and trying to create a look that will suit you, considering your shape and that at my age I can't wear everything. There are stuff that, you know, too short dresses really not anymore. So, of course, looking at the Ghanaian fashion, there are things that make me look good and that I feel comfortable in. So this is very French to picking and mixing, including African pattern, African design.
But do you have suppliers for your Ghanaian wear, or you buy them yourself when you go out?
Oh, I go out myself. I like to choose myself, you know. So, you know, I have to try things on. So either I have tailors who come here and they take measurements, or but they are always Ghanaian, or some shops like, of course, the brands like J. Garte or Christy Brown. But I like to go to the shops so I can try things on, because they may look beautiful on a beautiful model, but then when they're on me, it's not so good. So, okay, I go for something else. So, yeah, I love choosing myself.
In terms of fashion, what do you think the French will accept from Ghanaian fashion designers?
Well, first of all, you must take your Ghanaian designers to France to show what you can do. It's not wrapping people in a wax. It's well-cut, well-designed dresses or outfits that the French would love. Every time I had French visitors here, they go back with some Ghanaian designer's outfit because they think it's something you can actually wear in France. It's not exotic. It is the shape of it is something you can actually wear. And you see, especially business women or women who are working, usually it's very tough to find something that is both classical and serious and yet a bit of original.
Yeah.
We don't want to dress like suits and tie, really, like men. So we want to have something that looks serious but still has something.
Casual.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what I would immediately wear is a jacket like this, but the interior would be with an African print. Yeah. Or African design. So yeah, Sekbi, for instance, has put together a collection with the, what do you call that? I can't remember, it's from Mali. I forgot what the pattern is. It's a specific pattern, and it's absolutely beautiful. Bogolan, of course. But you know, the shape of the jacket is just very European, very Western. But then in the inside, there's this little pattern or a detail that really makes a difference.
Finally, do you think we are promoting our African made in Ghana goods well enough?
Not enough. I think you're shy. I think you're a bit shy, and I think the first step is to be conscious that what you do, be it in music, in fashion, in arts, in paintings, in photography, it is worth being displayed in Europe. So that's the first step. Say, oh, is what I'm doing that good and good enough to be displayed in Europe? The answer is yes. The second thing is, how do I do it? And I think the only way is to join forces. What you do here, like Taste of Ghana in December, you must transport that in France and in Europe. But you also have to blend with, with other music. So I don't like the idea of like a ghetto where you put all that Ghana displays and then people come and just see like they're going to see what Ghana does. It's important to promote, use brand ambassadors. So have musical collaborations with people and people say, wow, and so they are Ghanaians and you didn't know. Like you didn't know that David Guetta was French. Having designers who will be on the runway of the Paris Fashion Show. And people say, wow, who's that young designer? Who are those beautiful things? Well, they're Ghanaian. So you see, just in every different areas where you have added value and amazing talents, you should just join forces, go several designers, several musicians, several painters, several photographers, and join forces to bear the cost of that promotion out there. But then I think it is worth it.
Okay, so we are going to, we put some questions here.
Oh dear.
These are fan questions. You're going to pick from it. And then...
And do I have a joker? Do I have a joker where I can say, oh, I don't want to reply to that one? Ghanaian festival. Oh, I think basically December is just one big festival. You've got Afrochella, you've got Rapperholic, you've got the one in the Shy Hills.
Yeah.
You've got there was
Winterland or Wonderland.
Yeah, Wonderland.
Wonderland.
You've got so many festivals, and I think I would say December.
Yeah.
I think you should call December one big festival, one big party in Ghana.
Yeah.
I think.
But were you at any of them?
Of course. I came back from France on the 25th.
Yeah.
And I dashed from the airport to be at Rapperholic.
Wow.
So, of course, I couldn't miss that. Then I was in Afrochella. I was in Taste of Ghana. I didn't do Wonderland. I could have done, but it was in Shy Hills.
Yeah.
And I was in Wonderland, yeah. So, no, I missed the BIM concert. But next year I make sure I won't. So next year I will have like a full schedule, and my December will be back-to-back chilling. Yeah, back-to-back all the concerts, and make sure that I can see all my wonderful artists on stage.
Yeah, last one?
Oh, last one, okay. So I don't know which was the one I'm missing. Top Ghanaian musicians. You have so many. I mean, this is terrible. You have so many. I mean, you know what? Look at my Boomplay playlist. These are the songs that I repeatedly listen to, and there's already lots of them. I've listed the 6 that have done collabs with France, so Sarkodie, Stoneboy, Kwabna, Famille, Gasmila, Becca. But you have Mona For Real, which is just amazing. Wow. Jackie as well. And as for the youngs, I mean, you have Kenyatta, you have Kwame Eugene, of course, you have Kiddy, you have Kwesi Arthur, you have Calvin Boy, of course, you have, I mean, I'm forgetting some. So, of course, you have King Promise, Mr. Drew, Darko Vibes, I mean, you name it. You have, it's just incredible. You turn here, you turn there, you've got just incredible musicians, and each of them have a hit. So, yeah, I couldn't list. I mean, it's just. And don't ask me to say which one is my favorite. I love them all. I love them all.
I'm very certain you love them all. Before I let you go, you are, in as much as you are very loved by a lot of Ghanaians. Okay, I can also assume that in the same light that you have been receiving harsh comments here and there. How do you take that?
Actually, not.
Well, really?
If they do that behind my back. But I haven't. No, I haven't.
So you haven't heard any West rumor about yourself?
No.
So far?
No, it hasn't come to me. The only thing that sometimes I get is about the Francophone Africa and questions or concerns about how France behaves in Africa. And of course, it's never nice to hear these criticisms because they are usually groundless. But at the end of the day, it gives me the opportunity to set the record straight. Because if people think that, it's because the rumors actually they are circulating about the French and France as a country in Francophone Africa. And I use every opportunity to set the record straight. And people, when they know the truth and they start thinking, does it make sense? Is it just possible? Then they sometimes they apologize, sometimes they thank me because they just didn't know. So no, but about myself, no, never.
Mm-hmm. So the TikTok trend you've been following, I guess. Which of it is your favorite right now? You mentioned Down Flat when we were about to start.
Yeah, of course. I like Obia as well by Aquaboa.
So Obia.
Opia. Sorry,
okay.
Opia.
So
I like the latest that Amerado did with Kwame Eugene as well, Mutua.
Oh, yeah, I can see that you know a lot of these songs.
So
that's
yes.
really impressive.
Yeah,
really, really, really.
And I try to keep track of what's coming.
Because I'm sure that some Ghanaians do not know as much as you know in terms of music.
Well, I don't know. I love music, so now that I have, you know, it's just like when you go to one festival, then what's great about Ghanaian artists is that the more famous one are dragging other ones, are doing featuring. So then that's how I actually knew Sarkodie, and then I heard Happy Day, and I saw Kwame Eugene, and then I thought, oh, who's that guy? So I did my research, and I saw that he had done featurings with other people. So, you know, just dragging the whole thing, that's how you get to know more songs. And those you like, you go, oh, wow, this has to go on my playlist. And that's how eventually you know those songs.
Okay, but the Down Flat challenge, I want to teach you.
Oh, no. So you're just warming up there?
Yeah.
So get ready,
Okay, you do it like this?
My head is beautiful. My head, I know.
Wait till me.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
Okay, then we come. I walk up with myself. I
think it was like this, and then you go like that.
Oh! Okay.
I set myself down flat. I told you.
Okay.
I tried.
Oh, that's really impressive.
I can see to try and learn.
So here's where we come to an end. Here's where we draw the curtains on this edition of Talkatainment. I hope you had fun on the set with one of my favorites.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
We come your way same time. So till then, stay blessed and be safe. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you very much.
Ade a wodo ani chiremu ewo Accra Sports Stadium a na ese eye ITF World Tennis Tour ekoso ewo ho a na ese match ba ko etimi to dwa Ghana ni efren se ni Ankara one France ni a efren se Michael Kwame ene de bo ani na match etimi to dwa no Ghana ni efren se eye ni Ankara etimi twa Michael Kwame eno eye 6-2 6-7 and afi 7-6 na say 3 straight sets in utwa abrantie no edin film na Michael Kwame American asemi yade a wono munimbo pa tennis no ekoso no no nimbo no na say top seeds no no seed number 1 na so nimbo yi pa na Ghana ni eyi ni film na ekoba say Ghana ni na yi na film say no on say tennis de yebo wi a so mumienu mo chia obi a chia ne yonko na say matimi afa ba bi amode bani be say metumi a kire na enche ni mu na Michael Kwame Otia Ghana ni wie ya be hu an se o Ankara enko yu adibi mfiri na fono ho an se Kwame nsa Kwame ayire na sumpa nyasem keto asumbo a Kwame atimi de abono no na se ne yaye pa se Ghana ni no atimi ayi na free man no ho abufu nti o che eye ankra chia Kwame no Kwame Michael Kwame aha odi ne nsa o ahwe na so nya so troketo akra eno no so atimi di o Accra Sports Stadium. Oba Ghana ha dia nipa nani afi na nso odaso asi akan no wadi mfie no eye nese 68 odaso ebobo papa amekana seme papa polo osi akan enso edema kwa ufodua ewo Eastern region na one Ghana we bedi nkomo na papa polo edi tudwa se dia hye ni nkran se omobo enko akire na nchiri manso huna na se omunso emfa enhwe ne so na omunso entumi nkoso ensi akan no se osi so ana o hwe ball no papa e friend say eye peli ono agini din ye pa ono Brazil ni no oso ono na o hwe no na peli ball che nti ono eno na etimi ahye ni nkran ya besi no guso a na so ono nso etimi bobo na one Ghana we be di nkomo no ene yebisa ne say me ade a se a baby a o abobo le dru 68 years oda so bobo yi se Mfanse Division 1B ana Premier League club bi eba se papa polo still umpo mu ne den brabesi academy ya obeba na polo editu yanim se na se baby a o abobo le dru no ebe na ni jibe na ahohoaho a se obesi akan de ama Division 1 club ana se Premier League club enso ewo Ghana ha.
It is my profound hope that you as elected executives will commit to and focus on ensuring that all members adhere to and practice professional journalism, devoid of spins, sophistries, and rabble-rousing reportage. And I assure you, if you go by this, you will be part of parliamentary delegations. Anytime there's a delegation going, one or two of you will go with that delegation. But because of lack of trust, because of the way some of you report, you come and spoil the joy of everybody. You go and instead of reporting on what you are there for, you might have reported on an MP holding a girl somewhere. That will not benefit Ghanaians. Because part of human nature. It's just that you have man more eat, but you must also admire nature. And that is allowed. And so if you can go by this, please, you will be all joy and you will be empowered. Bear in mind that journalism is not about making up stories with the intent of attracting readers and making one popular. That's not what journalism is about. Well-trained journalists have a service to render, and it's only through true and verified leads and stories that they can have an impact on the growth of society, and in particular, the growth and development of Ghana's parliamentary democracy. As Andrew Vash, the American actor, said, quote, "True journalism is what maintains democracy. It is a force for progressive social change."
The Black Stars have qualified for the 2022 FIFA World Cup in Qatar, and now they've been paired in Group H alongside Portugal, South Korea, and then Uruguay. But today we are asking whether we need to invite the players who refuse call-up during the qualifiers, or we need to bring them on board because we are trying to build a strong team and present a better team in the FIFA World Cup in November. Others believe that if we bring them on board, we are being unfair to the players who played in the qualifiers. Do you agree with them, or you have a different opinion? Let me hear from you in the comment section as we interact with Ghanaian fans on the streets of Accra. Today we asked Fana to do this episode of the GhanaWeb Sports Debate right here on GhanaWeb TV. Follow me, Joel Leshen, as I get some interesting answers for you. So the Black Stars have qualified, and then the news making waves that Inaki Williams, Mohamed Salisu, Tariq Lamptey, and then Callum Hudson-Odoi are being tapped to join the team. But today we are on the streets of Accra to interact with Ghanaians on this episode of the Friday debate. Do you think that we should invite the players who refuse to play in the qualifiers, or you think that their inclusion will make the team better and stronger? Bosu, GhanaWeb TV. So, Udi can we share a World Cup qualifier and Nigeria no game na call say.
Oh, Ghana for no more there pa. Boys no more ball. Omo ball sana meka.
Intina enyo wan say you to me a qualifier.
Oh, me the name one because say the team na ye no. Na me menyi ni say be qualify. Nigeria for Mrante no so mo ya de pa. Cause me on my chance them can say Ghana be lose. Me na me tag Ghana for chi. Me Ghana ni so na me tag Ghana for chi. Ba me share stay muti bobo na me so mo ya de pa. O say bo ma baso.
Na any kind of this year qualify we. Na your players be o na ye pom so be join the qualifiers na o mamba. Tariq Lamptey ono yan won wo krom ha ye ono abrochi Callum Hudson-Odoi onso sa na ye twa so mbetumi a switch from England na omabebo na enso omamba ya ye nua ye ono de ye wono ha Mohamed Salisu onso ka so onye ready Inaki Williams mu sisi ano ebinum susu se ka yemfa World Cup we na yemtumi yemfa nye negotiation na omo ntia ase na ombebo e ma Ghana wo na omo ya adwe
baga me no bi anya adwen o omo nim so mebebo na de ntina ye from omamba na afi akореfa wie na omo person mebebo no baga yemfa omo qualify omo bobo na qualify for mambo because Ghana ha no obi mrem obi medi so hu so dem pa kire ti omo bobo na yemfa omo ambo by coach coach Oto Ado or ya de pa sa coach no say Ghana for Bonabaso
nti omo fa adwuma no ma no
mo fa adwuma no ma no pa or ya de
na ebinu ka say yenya Callum Hudson-Odoi yenya Tariq Lamptey any Inaki Williams mo a any Mohamed Salisu your team na ye strong but also ka say omamba ne de no omamba
Mohamed Salisu no ono de oba akeye because ono sa blantin obobo pa ba mama kan de boga menimo bia menimo mba bia ntime omama mjidi seye omama mjidi seye pa
all right, they chose not to come when we're playing the qualifiers, so we should give those who qualify the team the opportunity to play in the FIFA World Cup. Boss, my pounds will be any kind of game, no, yeah, in Nigeria, no, where more than I call say.
Oh, boss, game on the because of humanity, man, shake game in game on me, share second from me, shake a cranny, so one shake. But I said, I give no corner, not give an effort. Nana Ghana for near your bobo, boys no mobobo. Omo bought se basa, mobobo and se basa bo pepe. Snabo na efe.
Alright.
But I said okay. Now o can say o say dem ranting ni bi be dwan o mo ni ade no. Oh, young boys na ankasa na eko game we no. Omo bo modern by say bia ranting who say like me chiremu a who say like akwai say obi kire we adwuma akwai say o boss aja say no kire we adwuma u dem a boss no kire we adwuma the experience bi o ho boss no yima untumi e de emehu ni nyina sa ntine bia sampen for no kan o ma adwane boys na nke bia na betumi akon kan kakra na bibia akwa ni tente
nti wo support say o ma mba qualifiers na so ye betumi afro ma ba so mbe ba de inform ko work up
so mo be ba de a o se mo de mo ko
All right, so if they will come, we should take them along to the FIFA World Cup in Qatar. What do you also think? You think that Mohamed Salisu, Callum Hudson-Odoi, and Tariq Lamptey and the likes should be added to the World Cup squad despite their decision not to play in the qualifiers? All right, first of all, did you watch the Ghana game against Nigeria? And if you did, were you impressed with the performance of the team?
Yeah. So much impressed with them.
Who was the standout player for you?
I think almost all of them has done well. They have done a good job. You know, football is a teamwork. If one don't pass, one cannot score. So I think they have all done well. So that's why I would not signal one player and say, oh, this player has done well. But for me, they all have done well. They have done well.
Now we've qualified for Qatar. There are some players that we wanted them to honor our invitation during the qualifiers, but they didn't come. Mohamed Salisu, Tariq Lamptey, and then Callum Hudson-Odoi and the likes. But now, others are of the belief that we can use this to, I think, attract them to come and play in the World Cup. But there is another school of thought also saying that it will be unfair on the part of those who qualify, that we will bring in new guys who refuse to play in the qualifiers.
Yeah, for my understanding, what I know, and football, you know, from now to December is a long way to go. So if I would prefer, and my simple advice is, if the coach will look at players outside, those who are performing well, football is a game of performance. Maybe those that qualify us today might not be good some few months to come. So if the coach will scout and check out players who are performing, we want performing players that can help beat some people like that of Portugal and those that are in the group with us. So not necessary to maintain. Those that are performing, we want a performer, somebody who is performing well, that's all.
Also, are you confident that Ghana can qualify out of Group H? We have Uruguay, we have Portugal, and we have South Korea.
Sure, Ghana can do if only we are determined. You know, football is a teamwork, you see. If only we team up and we cover up for each other, we can do well. We can do well.
All right, so are we going to invite Callum Hudson-Odoi and the likes or not? Are we going to be fair to those who played in the qualifiers? I have another guest here on the show. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You watched the qualifiers between Ghana and Nigeria.
Yeah.
First of all, were you impressed with the performance of Ghana?
I think we managed that from the qualifier. But now we are coming to check about the rest. You see, the ones they don't play the qualifier. We have a right to invite them to the qualifier. Why? Because some of them can get injured, some of them can want to train them back. It doesn't mean they don't join the qualifier. Okay. We have to gather them to train them to the World Cup. That'd be my suggestion.
But you don't think that if we bring them on board and we leave out those who played in the qualifiers, we are not being fair to them?
To me, not we are leaving those who qualify. Because this is the time we are coming to start. And injuring some of them will wound, some of them will get those things. So we have to manage them to avoid them starting again. So that one, to me, my preference is we for try, gather them.
For trying, last one, Ghana, we have been drawn in Group H in the World Cup against Portugal, South Korea, and then Uruguay. Remember, we have a score to settle with Uruguay. Do you think that Ghana, we can come out of the group?
I'm sure.
You are sure you can?
Yeah.
All right, but he wants the players to come on board, Callum Hudson-Odoi and the likes. Bossu, my phone is The game we played against Nigeria, were you impressed?
Very impressed.
And who was your standout player?
Is it Kudus?
Kudus Mohammed.
I just like his dribbling skills, and then he's a player that is fun to watch.
He's fun to watch.
Yes.
Now there are those that we wanted them to come on board and to play, but they didn't honor the call-up. Now there is school of thought that we need them, or we can use the World Cup to attract them to come and play for Ghana. Okay. Do you agree that we should bring them on board, or you want us to stick with those who played in the qualifiers?
You see, this is simple. Who should cook and who should come and eat?
You understand? We wanted them to play and qualify. Okay. Now it's like we are preparing soup. You wanted meat to play the soup sweet, isn't it? Unfortunately, you went and you had fish. Okay. And at the end of the day, the soup is equally sweet. Okay. So what becomes of the meat?
We don't need it.
Why? It's a different thing. You are being invited and you refuse. Yeah. And it's also a different thing. Probably you didn't end the call-up. And probably by your hard work, maybe the coaches saw that, oh, well, it's a new guy coming. I like the way we could be added up. Then that one is cool. But when you are being invited and refuse to come, who should sit at the bench? If it were to be you, will it be your
and finally, Ghana, we've been paired in Group H in the World Cup. We have a score to settle with the Uruguay and Portugal. But now the new addition to the group is South Korea. If you are arranging from first to fourth, which teams will make it out of the group?
I can't pinpoint a particular one.
No, but I know that it can change in 6 months' time. But today, which teams will make it out of the group? Your first two.
My first two, I think Ghana and I would go for Korea.
All right, so it's Ghana and South Korea for him out of the group. But his main question is, who should cook the food for Callum Hudson-Odoi, Mohamed Salisu, Inaki Williams, and Tariq Lamptey to come and eat? All right, and it was Eddie Kaino, Ghana game my Nigeria boy, and you qualify performance so when he say you call up a bit to my baby.
Okay, a normal performance, because even though say 2 legs you are winning match, but technically you are qualified until you hear other players and I say you hear why a bit my idea walk up.
All right, now you see a question I am from said. Why na enu aduane no na wo mbedi nsem we omo ka che players na ye frɛ omo qualifiers no mamba de nso omunya World Cup no mbɛbɔ no woni GFA penifo no bi omo ka sɛ coach na be decide ebinum so kyerɛ sɛ sankofo ne ba team no ebe strong.
Yeah, sankofo no ba team no be strong because ye hwɛ the last time I call Cup World Cup na 2014 and 2006 now. Your players be more qualifiers in the Bomber joining and my team no successful. Even like cancel, no can be but one could be. Okay. This is team and just a one qualifying and just a team China chess head over. Because why we do my tax say it is our tax and is why we are and then just say automatically over World Cup.
Okay, it's Ghana group A group H. Yani Uruguay for you know more Asemka, Sanso and Portugal and South Korea. And then I mean you can say minimum sabusumi there, Bibi Abe to Messi injuries in there. But then I mean you can say you can say my 2 teams on qualify from the group
Oh, Ghana and Portugal.
Ghana and Portugal.
Yeah, Ghana
and qualify from the group.
Ghana and Portugal never qualify.
Yani Nigeria boy we na qualify no. Na wa hon keka no na feel net say.
O ani jaba o man ni mu aka ni panyina abom. Se football ba na ye ni politics bia na aka ni panyina abom. Na ye de odo na ye ni je atena o man ni.
Okay, na ye ball ni we no players be no mo de mo so we ni pa.
Oh, players ni de o mu nyina ya de. Ye nyi ba confirm obi ya de. De o she go ni de of Bofre Chire, Momunya de Shay, Obia, Niki Person, Obia, dear.
Okay, but and the Ivy San say, your man say you are an person member qualifiers, Romamba, Mohamed Salisu, or so ready, Tariq Lamptey, or no, ya would Rabruchi, or Nicolamos, or don't care person almost a son on the Bomai, and so Mamba, almost to say, to me the walk up in your Monomaba. A bit to say. Ya do mo ba na che so mo mbo qualifiers ni no mo ndi ni ye then I walk.
Oh ni nyina yes we no no o ma anya o ma adwene so o mo ba because na o mo ni gidie so o be qualify and o mo gidie kura sometimes the foreigners ne ba professionals ne ba kwan a bia Ghana for start ye o mo no this ye ni ji aba no bia ya de se o mo ba be bo na o mo anya de Ghana for ya be ye o mo saa enti obi be bo na ye ne ya but so far so ma switch so mo ba be Ghana for ya mo kwan na emu no ma ye replace o mo enkobo top position ma omo boko je ye no enye de omo ntena ase omo medi protocol num na omo so meka ho na emom no omo nye reserves na ewa na push omo abebo enye push so omo nya sa ho brase na enye problem ebe ya say at the end of the day no nipa na ko body qualify na wa ba be di position and hadwin ti no omo hu ha metimi di omo ahyem a enko top sa players nso sintidua na kire bi ehia omo a yensa anka omo
midi wie no na me bisa say Ghana si say group H yani Uruguay therefore ya na 2010 omo ama ya nko semi final Portugal and so share 2014 na South Korea si say amekasa man countries mienu a on be qualify from the group how come on
every Ghana group oh medical for Ghana din Ghana and our football so am predicted here was Italy 40 me first group stage it's the football they are predicted it's medical for Ghana din now for any other on by omo so meka ho
but Ghana there the bomb empire say you fan pa bon ta o machi ni na empire bo so Ghana you do football na obi abi hu sa face na ye wo nyame so ni football there ha but they do football na do akono a ni hu say na yetimi to asoro nwon stage tie hu say sa nyame nwom ene empire bo timi ye bibi dia ye ma ye ni nko nyame so ni nyame na da beje cap na ma ye nkola ne be ye de be de ni pa bo ya bibia be ye fine. All right, so he is going for Ghana as a constant figure in the group, but the calls for Callum Hudson-Odoi and the likes to join the team, he supports them that if they come, he believes that they will make our team stronger. But the officials should do it in a way that they are not going to upset those who played in the qualifiers. All right, into your World Cup qualifiers. News is say a bit to me. Omambo qualifiers in the Binomo, Castle Mumban, ever call Cup. What's the news now? Then I'll come.
I shall say, no make us say, Ghana and Casano. Suban view Honoma, away more, Bessian, my young one, and Tiasi. And no can affect the economy after this time. Obia, dear do baby. Instead of saying many panatas, I then, oh, see, yeah, criticizing the panona. You are clearly off. So also you experienced player with me about cup, with me about tournament. You have to come and qualify your nation before you can play the tournament. In this Obianya could have about tournament, no qualification. Now about cup na Okra ferry. I will say you were new because you call yourself an experienced player. You tell me one to dinner or mine and name qualifiers and for team now qualify for the tournament. Now about qualification, I was saying what you could move for in the first place because when you're qualified, because one member qualification. So if you are not able to play the qualification, you are not qualified to play the cup. In the Oma about qualification, they should play the cup because I'm holding any near dear to the born a qualifier. You know, you're gonna for Corano. A bien binum say no, I am because we didn't expect that from them. Especially the new players, Mapamuno, Alexander Juku, and those players, new players now, have joined the team. I must show love. They are bringing back the love of Ghana, Black Star team. They don't say the air, but if you don't encourage those boys, now you are called tournament, and now I'm afraid somebody like Alexander Juku, Kudus and stuff. Now for another players to come and replace them is a shame to young or minor and the players.
Okay, in terms of the Ghana group, your Portugal, your Uruguay, your South Korea, Seychelles, 1, 2, 3, 4, man.
Oh, Portugal, a tough match for Ghana. Even Obia cry away. So Portugal match is very tough for Ghana. And I am Pioneer, but say at least Yanko cry and a bear Portugal, Ghana, and then maybe Uruguay or South Korea.
So we heard what Ghanaians had to say about this very topic, whether we should invite Callum Hudson-Odoi and the likes to join the World Cup squad. what do you also think about this very issue? Speak to me in the comment section after watching this video where people shared their opinions. My name is Joel Eshen, and this has been another episode of the GhanaWeb Sports Debate right here on GhanaWeb TV. Do well to subscribe to our channel and enjoy the rest of our programs. Until we meet again, it's bye for now.
Na e won some so a efa e asin not ma shebedwane jem gyache kwesen de omanfo nim se ne nsam de aye de gya wa ekrom ha yie pan esan se e ade omu kyerema e ye owrai okita dual citizenship enunti ontimi nya ma shebedwane e ma asin not for e ma ni case ne de aye bebre na e owrai bi oye private citizen aye friend of Michael Ankoma Nifa ono e na chese file case against MP no e me kokọ wiemu de na chese e Cape Coast High Court for de omaji atum se e ade a owrai no ontimi ma shebedwane ewo Ghana hanom ene abaye ne de ekoya ekokopie mu ewo Supreme Court eyo rei esan di ko Supreme Court na o twemu se ono kasa bɔ no ho modern ase ya de o pese o mo nsaka eye jemgyache kwese na nso mo ye ya ni nyina ankwankosi aga na Supreme Court no ehye ye se ene nsema na pokrata ye fe no substituted services no de ya de enko bi emfama ni ye pan se ye de eye inkrata na se messages awodo ne de ye de bi be femfam ne dan no ene ne nkeka mo mekɔ wiempo de newspaper publication kra de ebi be mu na mu mu ye wie ya che so mo de ne ho nsem ekokoto ye daily graphic mu e na jemgyache kwese na ne lawyer chachuchi kata e de bebetu dwa se emrea anampo no sania omusi ebo aya mane ne faaye no e ade a jemgyache